What is up, guys? It's Tyson Brown here, and I'm talking about intermittent fasting for fat loss. Now, one of my clients asked me this recently about intermittent fasting and how I went about it, because I managed to lose 12 kilos on and maintain lean muscle. And I want to share with you guys all the things that make it manageable. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is it does not matter what diet you're on, whether you're intermittent fasting, whether you're doing a full fast, whether you're just eating normally. Diets need to be enjoyable, okay? So the reason I like intermittent fasting is because I like to be full and it's hard for me to get satiated. So if I put off the way I eat, if I eat later on during the day, I can have bigger meals and feel fuller for longer, which means it's gonna be easier for me to lose weight. So if you're someone who struggles to eat, like a couple of meals a day because you just don't like that feeling of being a little bit hungry or just never feeling completely full, then intermittent fasting is a really good idea for you, because you're putting off that meal for later on in the day and you can go to bed. Like, I love going to bed with a full stomach. It makes me sleep better. It makes me wake up feeling more energized, and I can just go during the day for longer when I've got a little bit less food in me, and I just feel lighter. So that's a really good tip if you guys struggle with actually, not being satisfied. Now, another thing what people don't realize though is that it's not some special diet. You've got to make sure that you're consuming less calories than you're burning during the day. You can actually gain muscle on intermittent fasting, which is what I'm doing at the moment. And it all depends on how much you're eating during the day at the end of the day. So I could tell you, hey, intermittent fasting works, but if you start binging too much when you break your fast, and if you actually consume more energy than you burn, well then it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, you're still going to be in a calorie surplus. So you need to think about, are you actually going to be burning more calories than you're consuming during the day? Because if you're someone who just completely binges if you've put off that meal for too long and you're just going to go on a binge for the rest of the day, if you've got that 8-hour window of eating and you're just going to go nuts, well then it's not going to be the best thing for you. Another good way to use this for losing weight is to put off that window a little bit further. So intermittent fasting can be done a couple of different ways, right? You can do an 16-hour fast, an 18-hour fast, a 20-hour fast. It really depends on what's going to work best for you. Now for me, I always like to do between a 16 and a 20-hour fast, and it just depends on how I feel during the day. Some days I might be busy and I might just fast until it's been 20 hours, and then I have a 4-hour window of eating, which is what I really enjoy, because I eat my protein, I eat my lean meats and veggies, but then you can also enjoy those foods that you want, like, whether it be chocolate, whether it be whatever you guys want, ice cream, whatever. If you eat the majority of your food, if it's 80% healthy, you can have that 20% of chocolate ice cream or Cocoa Pops or whatever you guys like to eat. So it's another good strategy for someone who has that sweet tooth, and you want to consume something naughty and you want to add those little calories. Have it, put off the fasting longer, eat your lean meats and vegetables first, and then you're not going to eat as much crappy food, but you can still fit that crappy food in your diet. Because at the end of the day, a diet needs to be sustainable and you need to be able to enjoy it. If you're miserable when you're trying to do this intermittent fasting, then it's probably not for you. So you've got to think about, is this going to be manageable for you? Now, going back to different time periods, this is going to allow you to fit shorter amount of foods in less amount of food in a shorter amount of time, or more amount of food. So if you're struggling, let's say you have to eat 2,400 calories during the day, and if you have 8 hours to eat that 2,400 calories, but you find it too easy to eat those 2,400 calories, then shorten the eating period. So then you might drop it down to 6 hours or 4 hours of an eating period, and then you find you can only eat just 2,400 calories. Now that's going to be more manageable for you, and that way you're actually going to be burning more calories than you're consuming during the day. Another great thing I like intermittent fasting for fat loss is doing some fasted cardio in the morning, doing my walking. Because your body no longer is going to be using glucose, you can actually get into that fat burning mode as soon as you start up in the morning. So going for a nice walk or a jog or something low intensity steady state cardio is going to be really beneficial. Don't go and try high intensity stuff at this time, because the high intensity uses glucose, uses carbohydrates, and we're not going to have a lot of carbohydrates in our body, and it also is going to start with muscle breakdown if you do too much high intensity cardio, too much weight training, and you're not eating straight afterwards. So I just want to go over that again really quickly and recap it all for you guys. Intermittent fasting can be a great tool for you If you want to try it, you've got to fast for 16 hours onwards, right? So a minimum of 16 hours, then you can go to 18 or 20 or whatever you want to do. That's the first thing you need to think about, 16 hours of not eating. Number 2 is making sure that you're still consuming less calories than you're burning during the day. Because if you just think that you can do intermittent fasting because it's some magic diet and then you can eat as much as you want, it's not going to happen. You've always got, it can be used for muscle gain or it can be used for fat loss, but you've always got to make sure for fat loss you're consuming less calories than you're burning. The third tip about intermittent fasting is if you find that it's not working for you because you tend to binge, shorten that time period. Go to 20 hours and see how you go. Increase it a little bit more. And the last thing, do some morning cardio, go for a low intensity, steady state jog, go for a walk and do that stuff. If you guys want the intermittent fasting checklist that tells you all these things about how to intermittent fast efficiently, make sure to click the link down below and I'll send it straight to you. Till next time, speak to you guys then.